Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of AppStack, our exciting webinar series where you will see a lot of different apps from Salesforce employees, customers, just trailblazers in general, right here live today in 30 minutes. So what is AppStack? So we've heard from Salesforce customers that they want to know about the apps other customers are using. They want to know how these apps work together, how they extend Salesforce, and how they connect. And that's really what this webinar is all about. Not hearing about one or two apps or three or four, but lots of apps and how they all connect to extend Salesforce like never before. The way that we started this webinar was with the All in the Stack tool, which you can use at any point during this webinar or beyond. All you do is go to allinthestack.com and you can build your app stack. Then tweet it for a chance to be featured in a future webinar. Or if you have time to build one today, feel free to drop it into the chat and we might have time to take a look at it live. Before we get started, I would love to share our exciting Appy November program happening this month. You know, with Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and just a time before the holidays, we all think about giving back and our gratitude and love for the Ohana. So Salesforce Labs, our free apps powered by Salesforce employees, is doing an Appy November sweepstakes. So follow along at Salesforce_labs, tweet to them with your Ohana gratitude for a chance to win this really cool speaker mug. And of course, if you need more details, we have the rules that we will share here in the chat for you. So check that out and follow along. All right, so in addition to myself, I have Geraldine Gray today, and she is going to be talking to two amazing trailblazers about their app stack. So without any further ado, let's go right into it. How are you, Geraldine?
Hey, good afternoon. How are you, Amanda? I'm all good here in Houston.
Oh, good. Yes, good to hear from you again. I love this webinar because we get to hang out every month. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and it's nice to catch up after Dreamforce. I hope that for the folks who attended, they had a great time and that they learned a lot. And I hope for the folks who maybe weren't able to attend that they've been taking advantage of all of the materials that have been posted post Dreamforce on YouTube and Salesforce websites and all of the other channels that are available. You can do a lot of learning from there.
Very true. Yeah, definitely check it out. AppExchange.com. On the Ohana tab, we have a whole section around Dreamforce content from our time at Dreamforce and all the appiness that happened. So that's a great point. All right, Geraldine, tell us a little bit about your customers and employees that you're going to be talking to today, and take it away.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so thank you so much. So here we are with All in the Stack for November, and this is a really, really, really interesting and exciting month. We're very fortunate. We have Sharon Klardie, who's been my friend and mentor for many years. Sharon comes from the Salesforce ecosystem and now has probably one of the best jobs ever at Salesforce. And we have Abhi Signh, who is Salesforce MVP and has a great story about her journey from admin to developer and her future plans as part of Rad Women. So Sharon, go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been working with Salesforce.
Thank you, Geraldine, for those kind words. I really appreciate the mentorship from you as well. I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for, I think I'm coming up on 10 years now, covering roles from an accidental admin. That was how I got introduced into Salesforce, to product owner, to consultant, to an evangelist at an ISV, and now at Salesforce Labs at Salesforce.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best jobs in the world. If you started in the community and started in as a consultant, then you get to go work for Salesforce and you build stuff for other people for free.
Yes, it is truly. It's been so much fun. It absolutely is a dream job.
Perfect. Okay, and Abhi, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing recently, and why don't you also mention Rad Women that you're involved with?
Thank you so much, Geraldine, for having me on AppStack today. So my name is Abhilasha Singh, and I'm a Salesforce MVP and a Salesforce independent contractor, like with more than 4 years of experience. So I'm also a Rad Women coach. Rad Women is nothing but we are providing online training to the admin women's like all over the world. For the it's basically we are giving the training regarding the development, like basics of Apex triggers. It is a 10-week course. So I think that's all. You can also, if you want to know more about the Rad Women, then you can go and check the website radwomenorg.com. So you can get all the details there. And also, I love doing Trailhead in my free time. Currently, I have like approx 500 plus badges on Trailhead. So I'm also involved in Girl Development Group as an assistant trainer. And I also lead the India Virtual WIT group. So that's all about me.
Wow. Okay. So thank you for all your contributions to the community, and we're thrilled to have you on. So I'm going to let you take a seat for a moment, and let's talk to Sharon. So Sharon, Amanda's going to bring up our stack. Oh, I'm sorry, Abhi, you're going first. Okay. Sharon, take a seat for a moment. Abhi, Amanda is going to bring up your stack, and I'd like you to walk us through the different apps that you've chosen and tell us how they help you solve real-world problems for your customers or for the teams that you're working with. So starting with analytics, tell us about the data quality analysis dashboards and what do you use that for?
Okay, so let's get started with the app stack. Well, there are so many apps out there on an AppExchange, and many are my favorites too. But here I am listing 5 of them. So let's start with the data quality analysis dashboard. So we all know, like, this is a free app by Salesforce Labs on the AppExchange that allows you to identify deficiencies in record data. The app, it leverages like custom formula fields on many of the standard objects to record the data quality. This package tracks data quality for more like for the standard objects, including leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities, activities, cases, contracts, and campaigns. These custom fields can be taken out of the box or adapted with other standard or custom fields. I'll give you one example. For example, if there are 20 custom fields on a record, it might not be relevant for every fields to be populated on every record. So the customer can choose which field should count toward the data quality score. So that's all about the data quality analysis dashboard. Then coming to the next, which is the trail tracker. As we all are familiar with Trailhead, it's a fun way to learn Salesforce, to onboard, skill up, and access the Salesforce knowledge of your employees. With the Trail Tracker, you can easily guide your employees through Trailhead by assigning badges and building reports and dashboards to map out their learning adventure. What's inside the Trailhead Tracker? Like what you get in, like if you install the managed package, what you will basically get. It is nothing but a custom object and pre-built reports and dashboards, including badges, user badges, reports, dashboards. So what's the use of badges in the Trail Tracker? It is an inventory of all the badges available on Trailhead, including useful metadata such as role, level, etc. User badge, what's the use of this? Like it is the record of badge activity which assigned in progress or completed. It will shows these things for a specific user in your org. Reports, it is out of the box reports, including most popular badges, most active users, then total badges assigned, etc. Then coming to the dashboard, like it is an at a glance overview that visualizes key metrics with charts and graphs. So the most important thing is employees must log into Trailhead with their production org user credentials for their data to be synced to your org. Like for using to track the trail, like you must need to log into your production org, not to the sandbox org. So coming to the next, which is a Conga composer. So Conga,
Abhi,
yeah.
Let me just summarize. So if you would mind. So we've got the data quality analysis dashboards, which allow us to determine which fields we think count towards having good data. So for example, if I want to ensure I have a complete customer record, I can indicate that maybe I don't have phone number or I do have phone number, and that's going to roll up on the metrics to show how healthy my data is. And then I can also look at how healthy the learning processes of my team by using Trail Tracker to allow them to log in using their regular credentials, and it's going to track any of the trails that I have assigned to them and the badges that they've accomplished, correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now tell us a little bit about Conga, and what is a use case that you have for that?
So for the Conga, like it is basically we use Conga, which makes document generation easy and accurate. It saves time, cut cost, and scale with the document automation. Like a doc gen solution, we can also say Conga Composer lets you to create templates and produce consistent on-brand documents automatically in a one click using any standard or custom Salesforce object. Like you can create your own brand, you can create your own template using a one click, and you can use any standard or the custom Salesforce objects to create the document. You can also scale up to, like, you can also produce 1000 of documents a day without more staff. So while generating documents, use Conga Composer to log activities, create follow-up tasks, and update the fields. You can also make a one-click solution or automate via workflow or on a schedule. Like you can merge the data from external source like ERP or multiple Salesforce instances. It is a very compatible with Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, communities, portals, platforms, Salesforce One, and Lightning. So basically, you can use this Conga Composer to create the documents very easily using any custom or standard objects. You can also merge the data from external sources, and you can use in your Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, communities, portals, anywhere.
Perfect. Okay, so I can use Conga not just for document generation, but also to help drive through the sales process. So now tell us about dataloader.io and tell us about Quick Connect. How do you use those to solve your customer problems?
So I mostly done the data migration, and I think many of you have also familiar or also use the data migration, like moving data from one org to the another org. So with dataloader.io, you can freely import, export, and delete the data from Salesforce with a simple and intuitive UI. So it is basically designed for all the Salesforce users and all the Salesforce additions from group to professional. Like everyone can use dataloader.io. You can also schedule tasks and pull or push information into remote directories like Dropbox and get the email notifications. So it is nothing but a web-based application. So there's no need to download anything and work on the major browser. So you can, if you are doing a migration from one org to another, I recommend you to go for the dataloader.io, so that with the help of this you can import, export, or delete the data. It works in all the editions, like whatever edition you are using currently, the Salesforce org, you can easily install and you can easily use this for migrating the records or data. So that's it about the dataloader.io.
And tell us about Quip. How are you using that to solve your customer problems?
Yeah.
And also I should mention, so Dataloader, I think they used to have a free version. I'm not sure if they still do, but they used to have a free version that was very helpful. But tell us about Quip.
Okay. So Quip Connect. So Quip is a next generation productivity suite that makes it easier for your team to work together. It combines documents, spreadsheets, tasks, and team chat, so your team can get everything done in one and simple place. You can analyze, sort, and format the data with over 400 formulas to tell your story, then share it with your team. And with the Quip, your data comes to the life. So the spreadsheet can be directly embedded into a larger document that also includes images, checklists, and a conversation with your team. all the changes and edits are tracked, and these spreadsheets actually look and work great on the mobile. You can also use this app, install this app on your mobile and use it very frequently. So this app also includes the Quip component, which lets you think, access, and create Quip documents. When your team is working in a Salesforce, this is a powerful way to find and collaborate on the documents, spreadsheets, and checklists that are crucial to their work and closing the deal. So that's it about the Quip Connect.
Perfect. Okay. So if I do a quick recap, you can use the free labs data quality analysis to check the health of your data. You can use Trail Tracker to check the health of your users and whether or not they've been doing trails and participating in training. Conga will allow you to drive sales activities as well as having a very strong use case for collaborative documentation and red lines and such like. I can use dataloader.io to update all my data, which anybody who's ever worked at our company, you have spent your first week in data jail, so they would love that app. And then Quick Connect, it's not just about collaboration, it's about collaboration with other tools. So I can bring in other apps from the AppExchange into Quick Connect. And I can also, for example, I'd like your use case of, I can have my document, but inside my document, I can actually have a smaller spreadsheet. And I can collaborate on that artifact with multiple team members across the organization. So I see the theme of collaboration, clean data, everybody working together. I think this would help make people have a really, really healthy Salesforce org. So thank you, Abhi.
Thank you so much, Geraldine.
Perfect. Now, I have a question for you to think about while we're looking at Sharon's stack, and that is, if you could have any app, free or paid, invented or that you would have to invent for yourself, let us know towards the end of the webinar what that would be. And thank you. Now let's go over to Sharon. And Sharon, let's remind us again, you've been using Salesforce for 10 years?
Yes, that's right.
10 years, okay, and you have seen it all and done it all, and now you are building it all for Salesforce users.
So I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm building it all, but I'm spending a lot of time encouraging the vast ecosystem of Salesforce employees to build it all. So my time is split really into two, where I spend time encouraging employees to build new free open source solutions as labs on the AppExchange. And then I get to share those great solutions with all of the trailblazers and customers. Just last year, there was over 60 new labs created, so there's a lot to talk about.
Perfect. So let's take a look at your stack, because when we did our dry run, at least half of these I'd never heard of, and those, one of them I've already installed. So okay, so please walk us through your journey of your stacks. I noticed already that there's different stacks but similar collaboration tools that you've got going on with Abhi. So tell us how this would work to help us have a really great Salesforce experience.
So when thinking about the lab solution stack, I wanted to make sure I shared the love across the organization. So this stack covers analytics, sales, customer service, admins, and then general collaboration across an organization. And since I am a data geek at heart, I'm going to kick it off with analytics. So the Einstein Learning Analytic Adventure Playground is as fun as the name sounds. So if you are a data geek and you like to get your hands around data, then this is a fantastic lab solution that can help you learn and level up your data skills. So this uses Einstein Analytics, but even if you're not actively in the market to purchase Einstein Analytics, I encourage you to still check out this lab solution because it walks you through examples of designing data visualizations. And really, for data to be at its best, it needs to tell a story. And the picture you pair with your data helps increase the value of the story you're sharing. And so this is a lab solution that can really help you learn. And if you're interested in SAQL, this is actually my go-to place as my recommendation for anyone to get started with SAQL. So this is a really fun solution from the labs team. And having
that sounds really cool.
Yeah, no, it is super fun. And having data that highlights a compelling story can be a really big benefit to sales. I think everyone in the sales organizations would agree that having a compelling story is helpful for them. Another thing that's really helpful for sales is to have a strong RFP process that they can use to manage. And that's where Proposal Force comes into play. I've not heard anyone who loves managing RFPs. They can be, let's say, maybe challenging, sometimes tedious, and oftentimes they're not organized in a systematic way. And this lab solution allows users to create, search, and categorize answers to RFPs so that you can actually track the status of an RFP, assign items to users, even generate a document, allowing your RFP process to now be repeatable and reportable.
Perfect. So I think it's really important to point out that the price of Proposal Force is
free.
Free. Okay. So if you're a nonprofit or if you're an organization with very limited budget, this is a great place for you to get started with document automation.
And the other thing I will add is a number of these lab solutions, Proposal Force being one of them, have the source available on a Salesforce Labs GitHub. So even if Proposal Force isn't necessarily a solution that fits a need that you have, you can still go see how it's built, because maybe it uses some technology that you might want to use somewhere else in your organization.
Okay, perfect. So tell us about customer service. How are you going to solve one of our customer service problems with free labs from the AppExchange?
Well, I don't know if I go as far as saying solve all the problems, but these two labs that I picked to highlight today do help increase the user experience for your agents. So the first one is Lightning Service Console Case Timer. And as you mentioned, having a healthy system automation is a big part of that. And this component helps you do that. You want your agents focusing their time on important tasks. And the important task for an agent is to help solve customer problems. It's not logging the time they spend on their case. So with this component, time logs are created and stored automatically. So when you spend time on the case detail page, this component is tracking that and logging that for you. It does give users the ability to pause the timer or add manual entries. It really allows agents to focus on their main priority, which is helping customers, while still providing the business the metrics it needs for its data analysis. And the other solution
Sorry, I was going to say, so this is really helpful because before we had Lightning, I actually built that for one of our customers. A timer, a case timer. So this is really exciting that now version in Lightning and that works on the console.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about it and how it can help just make the user experience better. You want to, that's what the whole technology is all about, is making everyone's lives improved. And this is just one small way that you can do that for agents. Another way that you can do that is with the Service Agent Script for Lightning Flow. And this helps your agents process cases quickly and consistently. So Lightning Flow is a wonderful tool that you can use, that agents can use to help manage cases. And this is a call script that it's a screen component that you can add into your flow. So now your agents could walk through a process that's repeatable across your organization. A great example of this would be adding a flow screen component to verify information. So if your organization wants at the start of every case call to ask for the caller's name and then the last 4 digits of their social security, and then maybe a few other verifying questions to make sure they are who they say they are, you create that lightweight call script, embed it into your flow, and now that's part of the process for your agents. So helping it so that you're onboarding new agents, they have the process that's right there in front of them, and just making sure that people are spending the time doing the process that you want. So both of these, these solutions really help increase that user experience for agents. User experience is a theme I actually hear all the time when I talk to those in my Ohana. Admins are really striving to make the best user experience for their users, which is why I picked Flow Magic Pick List as the lab solution to highlight for admins. So if you have a user base in your organization that connects strongly with visual images, that might not be your entire demographic. It could be just a segment of users in your organization, but odds are you probably do have a group of users who would respond better to seeing pictures than a list of information. Then you might want to change your pick list to magical with Flow Magic Pick List. So with this screen component, you can define your pick list values to be images. You also can include context in text with that, but pictures can, what's the saying go? A picture speaks 1,000 words. So if that is something that resonate with your user base, this might be an app you want to explore. You can use images from the design system library or pick your own images. And it really this component allows your flow to speed up the process, adds a little bit of creative design, ultimately enhancing your users' experience. So an example might be if you have a pick list that is part numbers, you could actually put pictures of the equipment if that's something that would resonate with your users. And this is a really fun example of how labs can help you explore new features like flow screen components.
Perfect. Okay, so I can have pictures, I can have words, I can customize it to my own environment.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so now let's talk about V2MOM. It's that time of year. Some organizations run their V2MOM all year round. Others kind of do it in quarters or twice a year. Let's talk about the My V2MOM app.
Yeah, so the My V2MOM app, and just if anybody's not familiar with the V2MOM model, I'm just going to take a step back. The V2MOM is a process we do here at Salesforce where we have visions, values, methods, obstacles, and measures. That's where the acronym comes from. And we use this to set organizational, departmental, and individual goals as employees. Every employee at Salesforce creates a V2MOM, and we update it on a regular basis, tracking how we're doing against that. And everyone else in the company can see your V2MOM, and you can see theirs. So this really enables transparency and alignment across departments, really facilitating collaboration. And this lab app helps you with the technical element of rolling out V2MOM at your organization. So this has, the whole framework of, tracking your values and your visions and your methods and obstacles and measures, and updating those on a regular basis and making it visible across your organization. But since you're on this webinar, you probably know that there's more to success than just the technical element. So I would encourage you to check out the V2MOM Trailhead module, which goes over how you could actually roll out a V2MOM program at your organization, and then you're armed with this lab solution to handle the technical side.
Perfect. Okay, so I want to ask you a question as well, Sharon. If you could have any app, free or paid, what would that be? Maybe it's something you're going to invent yourself. I asked Abhi the same question. So Abhi, what was your answer to that question going to be? You've had a little time to think about it. Any app, free or paid?
Well, I know what mine is, so I can jump in here, Geraldine. So there is an app that I've had in the back of my mind that I have not created yet myself, and I've not partnered with anyone else to work on it, but I want to called virtual coffee. So I want a solution that enables remote workers and in-office workers to be able to quickly, without it feeling like a big meeting, to have a virtual coffee with somebody else to help you get to know others in other locations and be able to connect on kind of a more meaningful way than just strictly agenda-based meetings. So that's the solution that I would love to be created.
A remote water cooler.
Exactly.
Okay, so just someone, I don't know, Slack is pretty handy for some of that. So and you can also integrate Slack to Salesforce. Although I'd say that the words that go on around the water cooler are probably not the words that you want to have recorded in your Salesforce org.
So might be true too.
Okay, perfect. And Abhi, were you able to come up with something free or paid? Any ideas about what you might have for an app? Okay, we can't hear Abhi. We're going to have to invent an app for Abhi, or we'll come back to it. Okay, so thank you so much for your participation, Sharon. It was really interesting, exciting to see all of these free apps that are available to folks to download from the AppExchange, and then a lot of ways in which they can modify it for their own use case. Thank you so much. I want to say #AppyNovember to you. Remind us for a moment about the Thanksgiving and the giving of thanks that we're doing with Appy. What do I need to do, and who do I need to tweet?
So if you follow Salesforce Labs at Salesforce_Labs on Twitter, and also tweet at Salesforce Labs and share some gratitude, whether it be an AppExchange solution that you love or just something else in the broader Salesforce Ohana, would just facilitate us of sharing gratitude with each share. I know you have been a big impact on my life as well as many others in this community, and I love it when people are able to share that. So an opportunity, a chance to win one of 30 of those really cool beaker mugs. And I look forward to seeing everyone's gratitude on my Twitter feed.
Oh, I'm going to be knocking a few of those out this afternoon, I promise you. Okay, so thank you, Abhi. Thank you, Sharon. Really insightful, interesting app stacks that you've been able to share with us. And hand over to Amanda for a quick wrap up.
Yes, thank you. And thanks everybody for asking your questions and giving your ideas here in the chat today. I know we didn't get to cover everything, but tried to respond privately as much as we could. But thank you for all your ideas and thoughts there as well. If you would like to build an app stack, go to allinthestack.com. There you can add your favorite apps and how you use them, tweet it out, and you could be on our future webinar, just like Sharon and Abhi today. We'd love, love, love to have you. Our next AppStack webinar is December 5th. We are always the first Wednesday of every month, unless it is a holiday. In the case of January, we are going to be taking a break as it's January 1st, but we will come back in February and March. So we look forward to seeing you there. More time with Geraldine, more customers, more trailblazing right here. And lastly, because you're all awesome, we'd love for you to sign up for the AppExchange 2019 calendar. You go to bit.ly/Appy 2019 and make sure you do lowercase Appy, and you can sign up for the calendar. It will arrive to your business or home in January. So definitely check that out and sign up for the calendar today. Thank you all for being here. This recording will be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/AppExchange within 24 hours. And make sure to follow Salesforce Labs and win those beakers. All right, happy November. Bye.